I didn't believe it, but I found the passage myself. Harley Davidsons are endorsed in the Bible. The loud pipes save lives. It's war. I didn't believe it, but Harley Davidson is endorsed in the Bible, yes. Hi, my name's Eamon. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Harley Davidsons and the way that the EPA has tried to shackle our motorcycles. We're also going to discuss loud pipes save lives. Yes, we all know that's true. Of course, today the controversial part of this video is that Harley Davidsons are endorsed in the Bible. I didn't believe it, but I found the passage myself, so hang in there till the end. Harley Davidson riders get away with all their engine modifications because of this Bible endorsement. It's powerful stuff. Let me know in the comments, do you believe that loud pipes save lives? What do you think about the EPA? Put it down in the comments. Let me know your opinion, because I know it's a controversial issue. Make sure you stick around till the end, because the Harley Davidson endorsement in the Bible is a fascinating find and basically overrides everything that the EPA can throw at us. And I'm going to read direct from the source of the Bible. So is riding your Harley Davidson just a hobby, or is it a way of life? I guess it's different for all Harley riders, and the thing that we all have in common is the fact that we are enthusiasts, and that brings the motorcycle world together. It doesn't matter how we're categorized or what we're called, we all know who and what we are. And surely we're all just having fun on motorcycles. Now, for many of you, I know that riding your Harley is a getaway and escape from the harsh realities of life, and it really does do wonders for people's mental health. I know it's done miraculous things for my own mental health, and I know the subject very well because I've helped people over the last 20 years with issues in regard to their mental health through my coaching program. So I think it's fair to say that riding a Harley has a lot of not so obvious benefits for an enormous number of people. Now that brings us to our arch enemy, the EPA, which stands for Environmental Protection Authority. Could be agency, I suppose. And it's probably known under different names in different areas or different countries, so you might know it as something else. Now we know that Harleys are generally V-twin engines that are oil-cooled, and that's what makes them unique. That's how they get their sound, their vibration, all that low-end torque, and that's how they get their soul. But some of the later models are partially water-cooled, but I guess Harley Davidson have kept that oil-cooled V-twin engine because that's how Harleys get their feel, and that's their unique selling point. All right, so the EPA. Now we're on a religious theme in this video, so I'm going to let you in on a secret code, or a secret code name that the EPA is known for in underground circles, and that is the devil's weapon. Right, so they tell us that Harley Davidsons pollute the world, and they make too much noise, especially at the traffic lights, and that they all should be drowned at birth and sacrificed to their lord, the devil. So let me tell you a story that happened to me recently. You are going to be amazed, and if you're a Harley rider, you're going to be over the moon and pleased about what you're about to hear. So the other day I was riding around on my Harley, it was getting dark, and I was looking for a photo shoot location somewhere interesting where I could photograph my bike. And I headed towards an industrial estate which wasn't too far from here, and I came across a group of sports bike riders who were already there, probably for the same purpose because it is a reasonably well-known spot. Right, so I was talking to these sports bike riders, and they were basically whinging and whining, and well, one guy in particular, because he had just been pinged by the police for having an obnoxious exhaust.
I'm gonna barbecue your ass in molasses!
Now, of course, that would never happen to a Harley rider because loud pipes save lives and our bikes sound fantastic. Now, in case you think I'm being biased towards Harleys, I'll put up a clip where I am riding my magnificent mean green Kawasaki complete with obnoxious exhaust system. You'll see that I am being very fair to everybody.
I think I can hear Eamon coming at 1,000,000 miles an hour in the distance. Yep, this sounds like him.
Anyway, the guy got pinged. It happens. And I was saying to these sports bike riders, look, it happens to Harley riders as well. But of course, our bikes sound better, our pipes save lives, or our loud pipes save lives. So I guess, Harley riders have a little bit easier and there's more sympathy for us. So of course, they laughed at me and said, you are full of BS. And that's when it happened. That's when a mysterious figure came out of the shadows and started talking. Now, I can't do his voice. It was strange to say the least. But here's what he said. Harley Davidsons, in particular street glides, are endorsed in the Bible. They save lives by being loud, and God loves their exhaust note. That's why they're winning the war against the devil's weapon, the EPA. And just as quickly as he appeared, he vanished on a flaming Harley Davidson. So of course we're all in shock, but before I tell you what happened, let's go back to the EPA for a minute. All right, so the EPA has a job to reduce emissions from motor vehicles, and so that this video doesn't go forever, let's lump making noise in together with emissions. We'll call noise emissions. And as you can read on their website, this is action against the urgent threat of climate change. Reduced emissions will stop the planet warming up. I could add in a few jokes now, but I won't, because everything we do on this channel is deadly serious. So the devil sets rules and regulations, and all the engine manufacturers have to figure out ways to comply with that. One of the ways that engine manufacturers can meet these rules is they can make their engines run leaner. Now, leaner means that in the mixture of fuel and air, there is less fuel, therefore there is more air, and that means that the fire in your engine has more oxygen, and a fire with more oxygen burns hotter, and therefore you have a hotter engine, to keep it simple. Now, if you have a hotter engine, that means your engine is not going to last as long, which means you're paying for it, and it means you are responsible for destroying the planet. Well, that's what they tell us. So if Mr. Harley Davidson and his top engineer want to meet these guidelines or rules, they need to find ways to make their engines run cooler. Now, the problem, of course, for them is these rules get tougher as the years go by. So the goalposts are always changing, and the engine manufacturers need to keep up with the changing conditions that are set for them. He needs to find a way to cool down the engine and to keep the emissions in check. Now, an oil-cooled engine is harder to keep cool than a water-cooled engine, which is why the later model Harleys have partial water cooling to the cylinders and water cooling to the oiling system. Harley Davidsons are also restricted with catalytic converters, which basically turn harmful emissions into safe emissions. But I can't imagine someone from the EPA sucking on an exhaust pipe from a Harley Davidson that still has a catalytic converter in it. When Harley enthusiasts remove these restrictions, of course, we get more noise. But loud pipes save lives, don't forget that. Now, if you watch my video, 9 Essential Modifications to Harley Davidson Motorcycles, I go into some detail about why I truly believe that. But in a nutshell, I have ridden many different motorcycles with extremely loud exhausts and very silent exhausts. You can notice the difference in traffic, and it is definitely much safer having a loud motorcycle. Now, what's interesting is, as Harley enthusiasts, you probably know that a lot of Harleys aren't ridden a lot. They're hobby to lifestyle vehicles, sure, and some people do a lot of kilometres, but generally speaking, people are just, they might be doing 1,000 or 2,000 kilometres a year. There are so many second-hand Harleys for sale that are 20 years old, that have done 3,000 kilometres, that sort of thing. They're often not used, and they're certainly not used anywhere near as much as the 1.4 billion, that's billion with a B, cars that are on our roads, and the trucks that are transporting goods everywhere and spewing out diesel, etc. So you can't really say that they're going to make that much of an impact. And you would think that, keeping that in mind, the devil, the EPA, the devil would give us free passage through the valley of death. But no, that's not the case. So maybe we should question the science. Maybe we should ask questions of the lab coat crew, not who pays them though. That would be too revealing. Things like, is the planet really warming up? We've only measured for 136 years, as far as I can tell. So, have those instruments changed over the last however many years? Maybe the methodology that they use is slightly different, and that might account for that very small rise in temperature. Maybe the measuring stations, which used to be outside of the cities, now that the cities have grown to surround them, maybe it's warmer in a city. I don't know, there are so many questions like that. But of course, the scientists in their wisdom take their core samples from the Antarctic, where no one's allowed to go to verify or check anything. And they tell us that, the planet is warming up. So who are we, humble Harley Davidson riders, who are we to question anything? It's war. Harley riders have God on their side. We are the righteous ones. So back to the story of the mysterious figure. Well, I thought I was dreaming and I was going to ignore the whole episode. Thought it was, part of a drug-fueled bender or something, but I don't take anything, so it must be true. There's got to be something to this. So I rode around until I found a motel, went to the top drawer of the bedside table and found a Bible, sat down and read it from cover to cover. Yes, cover to cover. Nothing at all about Harley Davidson motorcycles in the Bible. I couldn't believe it. Then I remembered Bibles have been changed and manipulated over the years. There have been periods in history where they've added things or taken out things, depending on who the rulers at the time were. Obviously, I need to find an original version of the Bible. So I contacted the Oracle, my favourite fortune teller, the finder of lost Harley fobs, Mary. She said, go to the graveyard. You will find the Bible you are searching for. Now, I won't say which graveyard she pointed me to because I don't want you to beat me there and find it before I do. But I will tell you, she said, look for the unnamed grave. I thought, I hope she doesn't mean dig it up. But I grabbed a shovel anyway and off I went. All right, let's grab a shovel just in case. Oh, let's go. All right, we're at the cemetery, so let's go in and have a look. And it's about an hour until it gets dark, so hopefully I'll find the right grave before it gets dark, otherwise it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. And then we're going to have to hang around till it gets dark because I don't want to start digging while it's light because I think people will be able to see me. Wow, where do we even start? Okay, it looks like I'm going to have to go up the aisles and look at each grave because there's so many here. I've got about an hour until it gets dark, so I've got to find the grave and then settle down, wait till it gets dark because I don't want to start digging in the daylight. People are going to see me. Alright, so I finally found the grave. It took a long time, but I finally found it right in the back corner and we've started digging because it's dark enough that no one's going to see us, and let's see what we can find. So that brings me to today. Hours of digging, battery ran out, I brought this case home. I've hidden it in the garage until everybody's out. I've taken the wrapping off. I've opened it and I'm going to show you what I found. You will be amazed. I need glasses. All right, listen to this. Wow. All right, so the verse is True AF 17:2.4. I'll put that down the bottom of the screen in case you need to look it up. The path of the righteous man is he who has forsaken the rice burner. Blessed is he who in the name of being cool dresses as the pirate and shepherds the holy V-twin through the valley of darkness. I shall lift thy chariot's curse of the restricted lean angle, and thou shalt awaken and forsake the dark side. Heed ye my words, for salvation comes only to those who retreat to thine holy cave of the roller door, and make spells to enhance thy engine that hast cases in two, and flows with the magical cooling fluid of the earth. Humble are those who ride the street glide, for they hast powers of magic. Heed ye my words, speak wisely, and overcome the beast who has 3 letters to its name. EPA is thy evil enemy, and whence thou overcome it, then and only then shall the eagle of the west rule the roads. I have imbued you with the knowledge of mechanical things, the wisdom of the Harley service manual. Seek ye solace, and look ye through the glass of YouTube for instruction and the way. It is written, build and ye shall make talk, ride and ye shall make noise. Wow! I shall strike down upon the EPA with great vengeance and furious anger, as they poison and attempt to destroy thy brothers. And ye shall know that I am the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon them. Mark my words. Thy chariot's heart will flow, and the fires of hell shall burn bright, as thine evil EPA are cursed and crushed in the smog of your pollution and noise. Ye shall rule the straits again, as the superbike riders crumble in your wake. They shall shrink in fear at the casting of your shadow, as the batwing rules the roads again. Wow, that just is amazing. Well, it is amazing, and I guess that explains why all of the Harley riders around the world modify their bikes, and they do so with a sort of an inner knowing that they're doing the right thing. So now you know we are blessed and endorsed by God Himself to make modifications to our motorcycles and to lift all restrictions from the engines of our Harley Davidsons. If you liked today's video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell. If you didn't like today's video, as usual, play Roman Emperor and give me the down with Amen signal, and I will see you on the next video.